Nobody saw this coming. Out of nowhere, Eala went from a name on a bracket, a hungry kid from the Philippines. This wasn't about a win or a ranking boost. It was all about the entrance. Trust me, the second you hear what went down at that airport, you'll see why the hype is spanning from Manila to Madrid. Eala is only 18, let that sink in. 18 years old, and the Porsche Tennis Grand Prix, one of the WTA's most prestigious stops, gave her a welcome most pros don't see in a 10-year career. No lines, no crowds, no generic logistics, just pure high-stakes cinematic precision. Perfect staff, zero delay transport, and every detail locked in before she even landed. If you know tennis, you know this treatment is never just given. That level of red carpet arrival is usually for icons like Sharapova or the Williams sisters legends with global empires and packed stadiums, the heavy hitters who shift the energy just by walking in. So when clips of Alex's arrival hit the feed, the internet lost its mind. Within 5 minutes, every comment section was on fire. TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, it was a total social media blackout. Pure electricity. Pinoy fans were flooding every thread, sharing clips and tagging friends like it was the final set of a Grand Slam. One person commented, "We knew this was coming, we just didn't know when." Another just said, "She deserves the world," and the one phrase on repeat, royal treatment. Because that's exactly what it was. No filters, no fake PR stunts, just a massive show of respect for a player who's been grinding toward greatness for years. But here's the kicker, the viral clips don't even tell the full story. This goes way deeper than just some luxury optics. To get why Eala is the center of the universe right now, you have to understand the weight she carries on her shoulders. She's from the Philippines, a country that breathes sports but rarely gets a seat at the table on individual world stages. On the Pro Tour, there has never really been a Filipino name that shook the world stage like this. Then Alex arrived. She started wrecking the junior circuit, snatching titles and leaving everyone stunned. She was playing with the cold-blooded focus that made people forget she was still a teenager. The big players noticed early. Rafael Nadal's Elite Academy didn't just see her, they signed her. That's the ultimate stamp of approval. You don't get noticed by a legend like Rafa unless you're a once-in-a-generation talent. As she stepped into the pro leagues, that it factor only got louder. She wasn't just showing up, she was making a statement. Grit, high IQ plays, and a level of self-belief that scares opponents before they even hit the court. And the fan base, it wasn't just growing, it was becoming a movement. A die-hard vocal global army of supporters who track every point, every presser, and clearly every airport landing. And that is exactly what tournament directors are starting to realize. Today, tennis isn't just sold on box scores. It's sold on the story and the fire inside the player. It's about athletes who make fans feel every heartbeat on that court. Eala has that in her DNA. She's young, she's the real deal, and she's playing for something much bigger than a paycheck. She's playing for a nation hungry for a world-class hero. Combine that drive with her talent, and you have exactly what Stuttgart wants on their billboard. That arrival wasn't a courtesy, it was a bold investment. It was Porsche saying, the future is here and we're claiming a piece of it. Now let's talk about Stuttgart, because this isn't your average court. The Porsche Tennis Grand Prix isn't a warm-up lap. It's not a place for low-ranked players to figure it out. This is the big leagues, a prestige-heavy tournament in a league of its own. The draw is stacked, the heat is high, and the pressure is crushing. Icons like Serena Williams have battled here. Maria Sharapova carved her name into this dirt. The winners list is basically a history of the sport's greatest women. That history carries a weight you can feel in your chest. It demands you bring nothing less than your absolute best. For a young pro still carving out her path, walking into this arena is a rush and a nightmare all at once. Stuttgart doesn't do comfort, it only does war. Every rival is a threat. Every match is a psychological battle to see if you'll crumble when the lights get too bright. It's a test of whether you can actually deliver when everything you've ever dreamed of is finally on the line. This grand entrance, it is not just for show. It is a mental masterpiece for a rookie. Success starts in the mind long before the first serve is even tossed. Entering with total conviction isn't a luxury, it is high-octane fuel. Feeling valued before the first competitive swing, that is pure psychological gold. It anchors a sense of belonging that is impossible to break. That is massive. That mindset separates those who crack under fire from those who thrive in it. This VIP treatment was a loud statement for Eala to carry into every battle, the ironclad belief that she absolutely belongs on this elite stage. Social media exploded, but it was more than just her loyal fans making noise. A shift occurred. A global audience suddenly woke up to the name Alex Eala. Casual observers, who usually ignored the tour, were suddenly glued to their screens. The feed blew up. Who is she? Why is everyone talking about her? That raw curiosity is a moment of discovery you just cannot manufacture. Big brands spend millions trying to fake this buzz, but you cannot force lightning. Hype only sticks when the heart of the story is 100% authentic. This story is real, a journey forged in years of pure, unadulterated grit. Her relentless spirit turns failures into ladders, and the fans found the footage. They saw a sharp athlete who is as brilliant behind the mic as on court. They found a human connection, the bedrock of a legendary career in the making. But here is the heavy truth: viral fame always drags a shadow along. It is the one thing every rising star eventually has to face head-on. Expectation, that is a brutal new weight. Being unknown means playing with zero chains. Wins were bonuses, now the entire world is dissecting every single move. When you are treated like an icon early, your room for error vanishes instantly. Every match feels heavier. A first-round loss is no longer just a loss. The question is no longer talent, it is whether she can own the moment. The hype is set, now the scripted drama ends and the tennis begins. The Porsche Arena does not care about the noise or the grand entrance. The draw stays brutal, pitting her against seasoned killers who know how to survive. That is the hook. The best version of this tale is a war. We want to see her in the trenches fighting when everything starts falling apart. Rising from the ashes of a bad set, that is how you build legacies. It is that final grueling set where only raw will keeps you standing. That is the real arena. Every match here is just another trial by fire. She has become a living symbol now, a heavy mantle she must carry. An entire nation is tuned in, with every young Filipino athlete looking up. Little girls grabbing their first rackets and dreaming big, they are all watching her. That pressure is immense, but some athletes are just wired for this heat. This weight does not break her. It sharpens her focus beyond personal glory. It is a connection to something massive that pushes her when tanks are empty. In Stuttgart right now, Eala is backed by 100 million heartbeats. They believe she's the one to put Filipino tennis on the map. That kind of power is a weapon as she prepares for this showdown. Walking onto these legendary courts, one undeniable truth is staring at us. The talk of potential is over. This is the here and now, the climax. The grueling hours, the crushing defeats, the silent grind when the lights were off, it all comes down to this moment. If she makes a deep run here in Stuttgart and fights with that relentless spirit her supporters have championed from day one, her debut in Germany transcends some catchy social media highlight or a heartwarming homecoming narrative. This becomes the definitive milestone we revisit and declare. That's the shift. That's when Alex Eala evolved from a promising prospect into the genuine article. Anyone tracking her progress knows the score. If you've witnessed her sheer intensity on the court, that refusal to yield, forcing rivals to bleed for every single rally, then you understand one thing clearly. She didn't fly to Germany just to be on the bracket. She came to dominate. Her legacy is unfolding right now, swing by swing, set by set, carved into the red clay.